that. Are you happy with that? I've been listening to that, and I think it's very different. There are some different melodies and different guitar tunes. And what do you think about this album?
Well, I mean, not to take anything away from Bruce Dickinson, which was a terrific record, but this one, for me, this is really, I think, the best thing that I've done since Number of the Beast, which is back in 1982. The reason, I think, first of all, there's incredible production on it from Jack Endino, who's really, like, taken the sound and just, like, you know, mashed up the guitars. This is a really, really heavy guitar album, and drums as well. You know, it's really cool.
That's good.
The band as well, I've been playing with the guys now, same guys that did the live album with me and that came to Brazil. We've been together for nearly 2 years, and we're very close. It really sounds like a band. It feels like a band, you know. It is a band. And all the songs on this new album are written myself and the guitarist, Alex Dixon.
Alex Dixon, yeah.
Yeah, so on the material, we really feel like it's our material, and that's why the songs are played so hard and heavy and with such kind of conviction.
That's great, that's great. Just one question, Alex Dixon, this Dixon has something to do with you, with your name, or there's nothing to do?
No, absolutely nothing to do.
Nothing to do.
My name, it's just a coincidence.
Just a coincidence. All right, it's exactly the same band that when by the time you came over to Brazil, exactly the same
band.
Oh, that's pretty good. And what about Jack Endino? How did you get in touch with him?
Well, we were looking for a producer, and Jack's name came up, and I suddenly realized that, wow, this is the guy that did all the early Soundgarden records, and I love those albums. And so we called him, and he was really interested. He was like, that would be great. I'd love to work with Bruce. You know, he thought that, like, he was a real big fan of the first 2 albums I did with Maiden. I thought they were really cool. And he just wanted to take my voice, just the raw state of my voice, and just put it and show it to people in like a new way, and really make a heavy album as well.
And I think you got it, because it's a different way to sing, don't you think so? In your career, is something different?
Yeah, I mean, I really changed, and I think I really advanced really into the 90s on this record. You know, the way I was singing even on Balls to Picasso was still sounded very much like, you know, not that far away from what I was doing in Maiden. But this is like a really huge step forward for me.
Yeah, I think so. It's very different. Any special song in this album that you would like to comment? Like, which one is going to be the first single of the album? Is it going to be like Back from the Edge?
That's correct, yeah. Back from the Edge is going to be the first single. Did anybody tell you that, or did you just guess?
No, I somebody told me.
Oh, okay, go on.
Why did you choose this song? I think it's a very good song.
Yeah, it's a good song, and it's very kind of representative of the whole album. You know, the album generally, you know, sounds like Back from the Edge. You know, we did a video for it as well, which I don't know if you've seen yet, but the video is really cool. I directed it myself, and all I'll tell you about the video is that when you see it, what you see on the screen is real.
So you directed the video?
Sorry?
You also directed the video, or?
Yeah. Well, we did 2 videos actually, and I directed both of them.
Was it your first experience as a director, or?
Actually, no. I directed a couple of things for 2 other small bands in England, just for fun. And I was always with my own videos, I was always very, very involved in the concept and in the execution of them, even though I didn't direct them as such. You know, in Tears of the Dragon, a lot of the idea, you know, I worked very closely with the director on the ideas, and the same thing with Shoot All the Clowns, the same director, Howard Greenhall, who, you know, I have to say, Howard, you know, Howard ever hears this, he is, in my opinion, the finest video director in the world. So I don't want to take anything away from him, but, I did have a ball doing these myself.
That's great. What about the production? Are you involved too? Did you join like Jack and Dino to produce the whole album, or you left in his hands?
Well, because we wrote the songs and because obviously it's a band, obviously we're involved with the production because we all have a say and it's our record, But I like a producer. I don't like the idea of me producing myself.
Mm-hmm.
So, I do like to have somebody like Jack who you can bounce ideas off, but he's very different to a lot of producers. He's not, how can I put it, he's not like a authoritarian kind of producer.
Mm-hmm.
He really makes you work hard, but because you have to do it yourself. He doesn't do it for you, not like some other guys I know.
He does take the best of you. Don't you think so?
Exactly.
That's great.
He makes you do your best.
That's great. Bruce, that someone told me that there is a good story behind the name, Skunkworks. What does it mean?
Yeah, well, we wanted a kind of a cosmic sort of a name, and because I'm sort of interested in aeroplanes and things, there's a place in America, there's a company in America called the Lockheed Skunkworks.
Sure.
And they build the black, well, they built the SR-71 Blackbird and the Stealth Fighter and the Starfighter, the U-2, and loads of other very cool aeroplanes. And I thought, well, that would be a great title for the record. And in many ways, building an airplane is almost like a combination of art and technology, just like a record is,
Perfect.
Because the best of their designs just look, I don't know, they just look like, it's like sex and steel and, they look so, like really, like they almost look like UFOs,
Sure. What about the lyrics too? You talked about space and airplanes, and there is space race, solar confinement, and dream state. What can you tell me about the lyrics?
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of lyrics about the search for identity, throwing away old identities that you don't need anymore, starting again, being reborn, rebirth, and that's pretty much what, and also escape as well.
Is it something personal?
Sorry?
Do you think it's something personal, like to rebirth, and it's a personal feeling, or?
Absolutely. I mean, all the lyrics came from from some kind of personal, well, not all of them, most of them came from some kind of personal experience, and is about some feeling that I've had about either wanting to escape from something, or wanting, or just like throwing away old things I didn't need anymore, old feelings, and sometimes about really seeing the truth, seeing what, seeing life for what it really is,
That's great. So you're kind of recycling the music and yourself, I understand. Is it?
Kind of. It was almost like, I felt like I was taking a flamethrower to everything I'd ever done.
Perfect. All right, and what are you going to do now that you got the album, Skunkworks? Are you going to tour with the album or?
Yes, definitely. I mean, we have to, because the band are going to kill me if I don't tour. We've got to tour, and we're touring the whole of Europe before the summer. Then we're touring Japan, and then we're talking to our guy that books our gigs right now about trying to get out to South America. Obviously, we've got to come to you. We've got to come to Brazil.
Did you like it? Did you enjoy it last time, or?
Oh yeah, are you kidding? It was awesome.
That's good to know. What about the new Iron Maiden album? Have you heard this album or?
I haven't heard all of it actually. I've heard some of it, and the thing that the thing that impresses me the most about Maiden is that live, they're still really cool. You know, the band live is still like, you know, one of the best in the world, and they really rock live, you know. And with the record, it's hard to say because it sounds, you know, so different, you know, with the vocals and everything else from when I was doing it. But I still think it still keeps, you know, a lot of the drama, you know. But really, I think it's the direction and the production is very much Steve's.
Yeah, he's kind of the owner of the band, I think.
Yeah.
What about radio? In '93, was it you did like a story of heavy metal in Radio 1? Are you doing this kind of stuff? Do you have time enough to do this kind of stuff?
Well, actually, the thing about radio that I enjoyed was the fact that it used to take, I used to get about 30 CDs a week, and that was, listening to those was most of the time pretty enjoyable. And then I just picked some songs, and because we did the show that I had, it was 1 hour a week, and it was live. It didn't take up a whole lot of time. It used to take up 3 or 4 hours, you know, before the show, you know, writing a few words down to say in between the music. But most of it was just live. So, you know, it was just playing records and talking about music, and that was fun.
Yeah, sure. I bet.
Bom, vocês conferirem mais esse trecho do bate-papo com o Bruce Dickinson, que o cara vai...
You know a lot of heavy metal. You had Samson, you played Iron Maiden. What do you think is going to be the future of heavy metal? Do you think we are like decline of heavy metal now, or what do you think about heavy music nowadays?
I think that there's been a lot of people saying that, oh yeah, heavy metal, you know, it's kind of, you know, it's kind of old and all that stuff. And this album, one of the things that this album is a reply to those people. It's like, you know, I think this album is so good that you could put this album and say, okay, this Skunkworks is a heavy metal album for right now, for the 90s. And if you can find me something about this album that sucks, then great, you know, fine, you know, write it off. But I don't think there's anything about this album which sucks. I don't think there's anything that doesn't stand up alongside, you know, Skunk and Nancy. It doesn't stand up alongside anything that's going around now, you know. And also, I think there's a lot of bands who are basically stealing the sounds of heavy metal and then trying to pretend that they're not heavy metal bands.
Yeah, I agree with you.
You know, and the truth is that, you know, heavy metal will always be around because basically heavy metal is the fundamental spirit of hard rock and roll.
Sure.
I mean, it's heavy metal is slamming guitars, slamming drums, melodic vocals, played with spirit, and that's all it is.
That's it. I agree with you. Sure. Think about Skunkworks. I do think that you are going to reach more people than you used to reach, because I think that it's more accessible. I think.
I think so. I mean, it's like not only is it a heavier album, but I think people are going to like it more. You know, I really feel like this could be a very big record for me, and I know everybody at the record company is really, really excited by everything, and the press everywhere in the world is saying great things about it. So I'm kind of holding my breath, you know, until the record comes out, and I'm really excited. I want to know what's going to happen, and I want to get out and tour it, and I'm just really, really, you know, psyched out for this one.
That's great. When is it going to be released?
February the 26th it's released. I hope it's released the same time in Brazil. I mean, but over here in the UK it's February the 26th.
I hope so too. Okay, Bruce, to finish here, I would like you to choose a video clip to put in the program. What would you like to choose? Can be yours, can be anyone.
Oh, I'm going to choose Back from the Edge.
Okay, perfect.
It's just very cool, and it'll show people what the band looks like, and it'll show people, give people an idea of what the album sounds like. So, Back from the Edge.
Perfect. Would you like to choose one more?
Yeah, I'm gonna choose Black Hole Sun by Soundgarden.
That's great. Very good video.
Yeah, same guy that directed Tears of the Dragon, Howard Greenhall.
Oh, it was the same director.
The best video director on the planet.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's a very good video.